Hello everyone. It's Pam Jorgensen here. I'm an independent demonstrator in regional Victoria, Australia. And I am stamping in my PJs out in my studio. And it is Fun Fold Friday, and I have the cutest fun fold to share with you guys. Fast, quick, simple, and easy. The products I chose are out of the mini catalog this time, kind of as a follow-up over on my Facebook page. And if you haven't found me, I'm stamping in my PJs, Pam Jorgensen, out on Facebook. So this week we concentrated on Christmas. And what I decided I would do for Fun Fold Friday is I would do something totally different than what I did. The products I used on my Facebook Lives. And I'm going to look at the Berry Christmas Suite. Now this is adorable. And I must admit that I did not choose I didn't order the stamps or the punch, and I'm really wishing that I would have now, and I may still get them before this catalog is finished because they are that cute. So I'm going to show you what I did use though, is I did use the Berry Christmas 12 by 12, which is our designer series paper. And I chose to pull out the Berry Christmas Memories and More card pack. So let me show you those really quick. So the card pack comes, you get 2 of every single card, and you get small cards that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, I think. Now I'm going to use this one, so I'm going to keep that one out. But simple, fast. If you're looking for simple, fast ways to create cards, these are it. But look at these patterns. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Actually, I think you get 3 of these in this set. And actually you might get 4, and I've divided these in half. So Merry Christmas, Let It Snow. We don't have snow in Australia, not at the right time of the year. Wishing you the best this season. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. I love this one. Give the gift of Christmas cheer. And then there's a little sweater one. Oh, that's the same one. And then on the back, well, you've already seen this one. Let's see. North Pole notes. These are actually designed for scrapbooking, but I use them a lot to make a card kits, and they do have card bases with it as well, which are amazing. So these are cute. So they have the smaller ones, then they also have the large ones, because these actually have card bases that go with them that you can order as well. Christmas is better together. I might send that one to my family. Some gifts. And then what's on the back? We have Merry Christmas. Oh, this one's cute. That would be really cute. And then some snowflakes. So, and then what you get in there are you will get stickers. So you can use these as embellishments on your project, or you could even put your dimensionals on and then tap off with your embossing buddy to make them not sticky, and you can use them like die cuts. So really, really, really cute. All right, so I have pulled out this card that has the trees. I'm going to keep that one out, and I will quickly show you the paper. And the reason that I'm going to show you the paper is that we will be using some of it in a different way. So this paper has your polar bears and trees. Now I have actually fussy cut some of these out to use. And once again, the patterns are following along with the cards. So very, very, very cute. Snowflakes, which we don't have really. But you could use these in place of, I know we don't have snow at Christmas time, but you could use that as a winter greeting card, right? So just because, and in fact, it's very cold here today. I actually have on pants and long sleeves because it's actually quite chilly. Okay, so enough chit chat. Let's see what we're going to use. So here's the card I pulled out. And I have chosen to use Night of Navy. Now this Night of Navy is a little bit different size. Let me get my paper sizes out so I can tell you, because we're going to cut that card down to fit on here. So this is 3 1/8 by 3 3/8. So a little bit of a funny size. And this piece can be absolutely anything. You could even use die cuts. I have a piece of basic white. Now my basic white is going to be 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inch long. I have a piece of real red. I love real red for Christmas. This one is 4 1/4 inches wide by 6 inches long. Now I am in Australia. This will still fit into one of our envelopes from that fits our cardstock. If you're in America, you will want to probably put this piece down to 5 1/2 inches, okay, and adjust accordingly. Now this is my piece of Designer Series paper. It's just 12 inches long by 5 3/4 inches wide. Now, if you're in America, I would cut that down to 5 1/2 so that will fit into your envelope. So let's see what we need to do with this. I think we'll stamp first and get the stamping out of the way. So let's bring in this. Now I'm going to show you where I pulled my stamp set from. This is actually kind of funny because this is a Winter Owl stamp set. I'm using this with my Creative Carnival. It's an online retreat for demonstrators, and we're using the Winter Owl stamp set, but I love the sentiments. Warm Wishes, which goes with the cold sweater looking paper, and may you have time to enjoy the quiet moments of the season. I just thought that that was really nice. So I've already mounted these, and my color palette for today is going to be Azure Afternoon and Night of Navy. You could do whatever you wanted, of course, but what I'm going to say is that you could get by with just a basic card, a basic ink pad, and just some basic card shapes, right? So this is a perfect card for those of you who are just starting out with limited supplies. Now, I'm going to bring in my stamp that I've already mounted. And one of the things that you do want to be careful of is when you stamp, that we want to have our sentiment down in this middle section, because this is where our cardstock is going to cover, and we don't want to have our sentiment sticking out from our card. Okay, so let's see if I can get this straight. Looking down by the camera. May you have time to enjoy it. Perfect. One of the other things that I want to remind you of is if you'd like to receive notification of when I go live or when I post a new video in my YouTube link, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. If you're out on Facebook, I highly encourage you to follow me so that you see whenever I go live. I'm going to go live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we have that. Now I'm going to bring in my little Memory More cards, and I'm actually going to cut this one down. Now this one is 3 inches. I think I told you 3 1/8 or 3 1/4. So these are 3 inches by 4. And I'm going to cut this down to 3 inches, which I don't need to cut, by 3 1/4 of an inch. And that's going to leave me a little bitty card, which then will mat perfectly on that 3 1/8 by 3 3/8 piece of Night of Navy. So let's do our stamping on that as well. I'm going to come back in with my Night of Navy ink pad, which I have just promptly lost in my stamp room. How do I lose an ink pad? I have Azure. Okay, this is crazy. Oh, here it is. Oh my goodness, Pam. This is normal behavior. So if you like stamping with people who are wacky, lose their stuff all the time, you have come to the right place. All right, let's see if we can get that straight. I want that kinda over towards the left side of my project. Warm Wishes, perfect. And that's all the stamping I'm going to do, but I am going to do some ink blending. If you have not used a blending brush before, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper and put underneath here. Blending brushes are a great way to add some easy color. So I'm using my Azure Afternoon. This paper does say that you could use, it coordinates with Misty Moonlight and it coordinates with Balmy Blue. But I found that the Balmy Blue took on a green hue and I didn't like that with my trees. So let me show you how to use a blending brush. So you rub in a circle on your ink pad, picking up the ink on your bristles. And then what I do is I do not start on my project because you'll get a big blob of ink like that. So what I do is I start off my project and I'm going to come down into this lower corner. So I'm starting off of my project and I'm moving on to my card here. And I'm just rubbing in a circular motion. Now you can hold your brush like this. I like to hold it up here at the end. I feel I have a little bit more control. And I'm just going to buff that color. I'm going to buff it darkest right here and then just bring a little bit out to the edge. I'm going to pick up some more ink and come over and do it on the opposite side. And then you can look and see where else you might like a little bit of color, but that's about it. Once you're done with that, I have separate brushes for all of my inks, but if you don't, you could just keep rubbing this out until you have no more color coming out, and then you could use that in another blue. You could have one brush for all of your darker blues. If you have light colors, I recommend that you have separate brushes for those colors. You can wash them, but there's no need to wash them as long as you keep them in the same color family. Okay, so I'm pulling in a little bit of ribbon. Now, what's this one called? This is like a sheer ribbon. Silver and white sheer ribbon. How original, right? Now, I do like to use my stapler for this, and I am just going to take my ribbon. I'm probably the laziest stamper ever. Maybe that should be my new mantra, lazy stamper, because I like cards that are fast and simple. And I'm just going to whack some of that ribbon on there. I just did it in a little bit of a, it looks almost like a bow actually, but so I might actually pull that one over so that it has a tail going out to the right and a tail going out to the left. And I am just going to staple that on. I find that staples work better on ribbon only because it holds better. So while that is sitting there, I'm going to grab some glue and I am just going to glue this down onto my, onto my label, onto my layer, excuse me. I'm just going to push that down, make sure the glue sticks. And while we do that, I'm going to pick out a bear that I like. Now, I think I'm going to go with one that is maybe sitting on his bottom. So we have a gift, or we have, oh, that one's got chopped off. So let me see what else we have. All right, so I brought in my other sheet because I want one of these bears. I want this little bear that's sitting and scooting on his bottom. I think he is just the cutest. Now there are no dies. There's a punch that probably maybe coordinates with one of these. I'm not sure. I know it coordinates with the stamp, but I'm going to fussy cut around my bear. So I will speed this up so you don't have to watch me do that. Okay, you can see I've quickly just fussy cut out that little bear. I do leave a little bit of blue around the edge just so it has a little bit of a finished edge, except when I cut a little bit too close, but that's all right. Okay, so we know that dimensionals do not like ribbon. They do not like anything that sticks up, anything that has texture. So I am going to look carefully at where my bear bypasses that ribbon. And I am just going, oh, you know what? No, I'm going to do this first. Sorry, guys, I forgot. I wanted to add some little stars. So in that stamp set, it has these little stars. So I needed to add those and I forgot. So let me add a few little stars on our, just using the Night of Navy again. I'll just add a few because I can, and they look so cute. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. So now we're going to go back to adding our little bear. So we know that our little bum, and I'll probably put one right up underneath the head. Actually, I might do one. No, I think I'll just stick with two, one by the head, one by the bum. Peel off the backing and stick it down. There we go. Cute. Okay, so we got to make our card base though. So right now we have our insert done and our card base. And what I might do is I might just add a little bit of our blue. Now I do have a little bit of ink still in my bristles. And I'm just going to rub that across to give it a little bit of texture. Nothing major. So we have that next. So I'm going to come back in with my piece of Designer Series paper. Now remember that this is 12 inches long by 5 3/4 inches wide. And we're going to score this. So I'm going to call this the 2468 card. Using your scoring blade, not your trimming blade, we are going to come in and we are going to score this at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, I'm going to show you that this is the pattern that I want face up on my card. When I first tried to do this project, I'm going to show you my blooper because I made it wrong. So look at the diagonal, the design of your paper, and if that's the way you want to score it, or the side that you want face up, then you're going to stick it into your trimmer and that's the way that you're going to score it. So I'm going to fold on a valley. I'm going to fold it back on itself like a mountain, right? Fold forward again like a valley. This is such a great way to use up and show all this pretty paper. And then I'm going to come back again like a mountain. Okay, so there we go. We have a card that looks like that. Now, remember I said that I thought the first time when I scored it that I scored it the right direction, but I actually didn't because I thought I had to score it. Look at the cute side of this. I had to score it on this side in order to have this pattern showing. But when I did it that way, my pattern was upside down. So I could still complete this card, and maybe I will with the opening coming out the other direction. But for today's card, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to bring back in that larger piece of Real Red. I think for this, I better use liquid glue because I'm not very good at lining things up. And I'm just going to glue that down onto that Real Red card base. Just centering that onto that layer. This is just to give it, whoops, did I cut that one too small? Oh my goodness. I might have cut that one too small. Or maybe I never trimmed my paper. How funny is that? All right, so we'll trim it right now and hope that I don't have, might use this little piece of, let me grab a little piece of scrap just so I don't get glue. There we go. So we're going to cut another piece at 4 1/4 inches by 6. This is real-time stamping, folks. This is how I roll. So if this is not your MO, if you don't make bloopers, I'm the queen of bloopers. You'll even see me on my Facebook Lives. I do bloopers all the time. So if you like a little humor, come on back because I'm sure I will give you lots of laughs for the day. There we go. Okay, so I have glued, after my mistake, I've glued that down. We're going to come back to our insert and we're going to center that. Now you could put another layer of cardstock behind your sentiment. For myself, most people at Christmas time, when you're making multiple cards, just the white insert is going to be enough for you. Or that's what I think. Keeping it real and keeping it simple. Now I'm going to come back with my warm wishes, and now do you see why we had to make sure that we covered or we stamped our sentiment down in the middle? You can choose to either pop this up or have it flat. I'm probably going to have it flat, so I'm eyeballing where I can put my adhesive, and I'm going to use liquid glue. And I'm just holding it with my fingers, and I know that that's about where my liquid glue needed to end. And I will have a quick peek and make sure that I don't have any peeking through. We don't want to glue our card shut. Perfect. And I will hold that there for a second. And then I am just going to embellish with just some plain Jane clear gems, only because I think that this card had some really fun gems that matched, that coordinated with the paper. But I just decided I would go with just some clear basic gems. Actually, you can use your Take-A-Pick tool and the putty to get those a little bit more easy. And they always say use sets of 3. So I have 1, 2, and I'm just going to do a single one, I think, up there. 1, 2, 3. And there we go, you guys. Oh, I might add a couple on the inside here. Let's do that just because we can. And it just adds a little bit extra intrigue, right? There we go. And there we go. There's our simple Fun Fold Friday card. I hope you guys like that. If you do and you want to get more, make sure you subscribe so you can stay in tune. And I hope you guys have a great day. See you soon. See you next Friday. Bye-bye.